Hi everyone, welcome to WW Designs. My name is Nikki and the second journal has arrived on my desk for this Sisterhood of the Travelling Junk Journal swap. And when I opened it, I saw this cardboard. I thought, oh, maybe that's just, to protect it. I don't know. And I opened it up. And have a look at this very cute arrangement here. And look at this tiny journal. It is so very cute. But my first thought was, oh my gosh, that's a very small piece of real estate to decorate. So included was an introductory letter and just letting us know that we have 2 pages allowance for each person. And these are the 2 pages that she did for her journal. I love this. I have a feeling that maybe she may come from New Zealand because that's a Kiwi, but she's living in Australia now. And this gnome is eating Vegemite, which is very Australian. And then the next pages, these were done for this was the first round, and I get to do the second. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So what are my 2 favorite things? If you've been following me for a while, you will know that would be the ocean and coffee. So what on earth am I going to do? I don't have a lot of space here. So it took quite a bit of work to just find things that might help me. And this is what I have collected. So lots of little mini pieces that we're going to try and create something cool in this little journal. So the first thing I need to do for this side, we are going to do the ocean theme. And I need some water, okay? Because there's a mermaid involved and she's in the ocean. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just try and create some water sort of somehow. And I sort of don't want it, super straight or anything at the top. And we're just going to gently add some blue. I decided I didn't want to use paint. I didn't want to risk, even though this is quite thick, I didn't want to risk, paint blobbing anywhere. So I thought just using Distress Oxide will do, and it could just save me from a disaster, which of course we don't want. I'd hate to ruin these, so I'm being very careful about what I use. And I don't need it super smooth. Water doesn't, sit in perfect form. It's always moving. We can have a little bit down here. There we go. All right, I think that's a good start. And I've just got all these little bits. I'm going to start with my main piece. So that's my mermaid. We're going to glue this down. And then I've got all sorts of other little fun bits. Thankfully, ages ago, I bought this little die cut set that was ocean related. And it creates tiny little bits. So I thought we could actually put that to good use. So I've got the die cut machine out and did a few of those. Now this little piece, I'm not sure where it came from, but I think it was from one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and I just loved her. So I printed her out nice and small, nice little vintagey sort of mermaid, because I'm a bit vintagey. And then I grabbed a magazine page and I die cut out some seaweed because I thought that would be a good thing to start with. But what we're going to do I find with fiddly little bits like this, I actually prefer to use this. I prefer this glue with this little fine nibby thing, because if you try and use a glue stick, unless you're very gentle, you can tear pieces. This is a much safer way of doing it. You don't have to cover every bit. You just get some on there on the main areas and it will hold fast and we'll be fine. So let's add some seaweed right down the bottom here. There we go. And then I also cut this. It's supposed to look like a, I don't actually know what this die cut is supposed to be, because, you know, I've got all my die cuts in these little containers and I've got them in groups. So I've got a nature one, I've got a shapes one, I've got a food one, that sort of thing. And this was in there, and I'll be honest, I don't actually know exactly what this die cut is meant to be. And when you cut it out, all you get is the holes. So I then had to cut around the edge. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It is now like a piece of sponge coral. And let's put that right down in the corner there. Now, what else have we got here? I have a few little shells. I bought a little pack. I think this came in this little pack I got from Spotlight the other day that I put up in one of my videos. But I think we need a few shells, and luckily these were lovely and small. So how much room have I got here? I've got a few of them. And these are nice heavy cardstock, so we'll just use our wet glue with those as well. Maybe this other little cute one here. Perfect. Now, what else have I got room for? Oh, look at this tiny, cute little sand dollar. Isn't it delightful? Definitely had to cut out one of those. Pop that right down on the edge there. Now, let's see. Don't know if I need that now. What else can we add? I found a seagull, and in Australia, it's probably almost impossible to go to the beach and not see a seagull. So I think having one of those would be ideal. But we're not going to, I'm going to let this just hang over the edge a little bit. So I didn't put glue right up on the tip, just because I want a few little bits that stick out. And then I also found this cute little, I cut these a few years ago. I organised a Planner Girl crafty cruise, and we went up to Airlie Beach and back, and I made these little mini kits for them to do as one of the you know, little included things you do when you're on a cruise. And I had some white paper that had a red stripe, and I thought that turned out to be a fabulous looking little lighthouse. So I think we'll add one of those. That can go up here and just sort of stick out over the top as well. Now, what else have I got room for? Let's have a look. Oh, I think we could have a little seahorse. Maybe this little tiny one. This is a sticker. Don't know where on earth I got this from. But I never trust stickers, so we're going to just add a tiny bit of glue so that it stays where it belongs. We might put that up over here. Then I've got these cute little fishies. These are actually stickers. Oh, I didn't realise that. Okay, hang on. Now, wait a minute. Let me see. Yeah. Is he too big? Maybe this little one might be cuter. Yep, I think we'll go with this one. I can't be bothered to undo that sticker right now. Let's pop him down here. Or does he... Oh, no, he actually... Let's get rid of that bit of glue. He needs to go this way. That's fine. Oh, I've also got this very cute little mini whale. So this is not exactly size representative because the whale should be ginormous compared to the mermaid, but that's okay. We still are going to include him. He's having a breach out of the water. What else have we got? Will this fit on somewhere? It's almost a bit too big, isn't it? Oh, I've got this cute little starfish. Maybe we can plop him down the bottom here somewhere too. Yep, that works. Then I also had these bits, but I just think they're a bit big. See, we could have her, which is me, sitting up thinking about life as a mermaid, but sort of it's a bit big. It doesn't really work. I would have liked to have included this, but I don't think I like that. Maybe we could put another... No, the seahorse is too big too. Actually, see, this is too big as well, but cocktails by the water is... Oh, yes, I think we might include that. Let's put this one on just for fun. Now, again, we don't want glue. We want it to stick out. So we won't put glue right up the top. There we go. And I think I might have to call it quits. Or do I really want to tackle this sticker? No, I think we might leave that one. I think that's pretty full, and it certainly represents the beach and my happy place. So why don't we call that one quits? So the next one, we're going to do a bit of a coffee theme. And then I sort of had trouble trying to decide how and with what things I had in my stash that I could make this work. So I had this idea, found this cute bit, and this to me sort of represents lovely wallpaper in a cafe. So we're going to stick that down here. So instead of like coffee cup theme, we're going cafe theme. And I think what I might do is put this right here, and then I'm going to trim off the bit around there when it dries off a bit. So we'll just leave that there for the moment, and then we'll trim that bit off. And I've put a little bit of gold ink just around the edges. It is a tiny bit shimmery, but probably a bit hard to see in this early morning light. Then the next thing, I found this very cute little cafe. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over. This is from the, I think it's Coffee and Chocolate set by Stamperia. I bought the die cut book and I absolutely love it. But most of the bits, of course, are quite large. So we're going to pop the little cafe down here. And then I'm not a grandma, so Grand Cafe, I wasn't happy with that. But I found this cute little Cafe Nero. I think I like the sound of that much better. So we're going to plop that down. Something like that. Perfect. Then Look, I could have put a straw up here representing a cafe, but I decided to come up with a little bit of something different. I grabbed a piece of scrap and I put a little bit of brown inking on it just to try and make it look a bit more like a piece of wood. And I found this little cafe sign in the same Stamperia cut apart book. And I've made a little cafe sign. And at first I wasn't going to do the ring, but then I realised that when you close this up, the ring will nestle nicely in there and it shouldn't affect postage and stuff like that, and it shouldn't get damaged, and it's got plenty of room to move because I picked one of the larger rings in my stash so that it would swing, and if it was sort of bent over it would be okay. And so now we're going to hang this with the intention of it sitting in the gap there like that. And now we have a cute little cafe sign dangling. And then I thought I wanted something little for up here. So this is a little chocolate heart because I love coffee, but I'm also very partial to chocolate. So I thought we'll just put this up here. I just felt it needed something up in that corner. And then, as you can see, I only glued down the two sides because this is a mini pocket now. And inside, now this I think I got from one of my AI Facebook groups. So I've printed it really tiny too. And seeing this as a cafe, I've decided this, of course, is going to be the coffee menu. So I had to go through quite a few magazines, but I found the word menu in a small enough font that it would work on the top of this, because obviously if it was too big, that was just not going to work. So that took a few magazines. I would have thought the word menu would appear in magazines all the time, but guess what? It's like they have an aversion to actually using the word menu, but I found one. And so this is now a tiny little menu journaling card, which we're going to sneak into our pocket here. Voila. How cute is this? I'm very happy with this. Now, all I have to do is get this out of the way just for a minute because I want to trim off the excess. Now, I need some scissors for that. We might have to do this way because I don't know if I can get my scissors in there well enough. So we're just going to trim this off. I might just grab some smaller ones to get up here. I probably should have done this before I, let's just do this little bit by little bit. We'll nudge it away. Now I've got a bit more room to move. And then just trim that up nicely. And voila, my little cafe page is done as well. So there we go. Very tiny little working space, but I love how they turned out. They're my two favourite things. So obviously what I had to include in this little journal, and it's now ready to be packed up and sent off to the next person. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments box below. And please give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. So thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye for now.